Can you grab that door if you're?
Thanks.
Thanks. Good morning. So we have Violet. Are you roll call today?
Yes, that is going to be me today. I will just do the roll call here quickly. We have myself, Violet Plummer, Carrie Powers, Emmy Bristow, Jason Emery, Kyla Leonards, Mel Fisher, and Cindy Kennedy, all calling in remotely today. And in Admin 206, we have Brian West, Allison Franz, Andrew Chorney, Chris Lounsbury, and Commissioners Vero, Strohmeyer, and Slotnick. Did I miss anybody? Oh, and Martin Kidston and MCAT, if I forgot to say, are also online.
Great, thanks so much. Is there any public comment on items on the agenda? Okay, consent agenda, we have 3. Anything need to be pulled out and discussed separately?
Could it
Yeah,
pull one out? And,
Yeah.
and just, this is about number 1. This has been talked about for years. I think it's a fantastic leap forward. And if this comes to pass in the way that I think it's coming to pass, maybe I could be wrong looking at Chris, rather than having hazardous waste days be once or twice a year, a person could bring their hazardous
great.
waste anytime during business hours to Home Resource. And I'm imagining that added level of convenience will increase usage of this opportunity, and we would see less hazardous things in people's garages and more of them being disposed of properly. And
So maybe we need to find out, is that really what's happening?
As I say, I do not believe Travis is on because it was on.
Like it's
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It may
Yeah,
be
we'll find
starting,
out. There's a lot of people in the community wondering about
For
this, so we'll
sure.
find out.
and it may be starting out much smaller than, every day 8 to 5, but that would be a North Star we're heading towards Monday through Friday, whatever the right hours are. If I'm making a mess, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. No, we were talking about this
It's a-
too, because people have been wondering
Yeah.
if has waste days haven't happened, so we'll find stuff.
Yeah, maybe we
Something out and get
connect
some-
Travis and Martin. But I appreciate Home Resource for being open to doing this.
Selfishly, I'm excited about folks checking out the Confluence Bridge.
I move we approve.
Yeah.
the consent agenda.
Yeah,
Well done, Dave.
thanks. Get us out of this hole. I'll second that. So
Okay.
why the Confluence Bridge? What's the,
Because bridge needs help.
oh, is that,
That's a Sunset.
oh, I
Hill.
didn't know the name of the bridge. I always just
Oh.
called it the Sunset Hill.
Yeah,
Bridge.
Sunset Hill
It's-
Bridge.
It's called the Confluence Bridge.
No, I guess it's a Sunset Hill Bridge because it's on
Okay.
Sunset Hill Road going over the Blackfoot at the
Yeah.
confluence.
I see.
That's sorry.
I've
Yeah.
been misnaming it for years in my head.
It probably goes by lots of names. but-
Do we have a naming opportunity?
Is there any further discussion? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, action items.
Yes.
Blaine's on
I'm
here, but
covering-
you're covering
Yeah,
for
it's
Blaine.
I'm covering
Blaine's
for
got his
Blaine
hands
because
full
he's out
today.
building, yep. Construction that's happening out of Public Works today. So Commissioners, what you have before you today is an amendment to the professional services agreement that you signed with Poverello Center to provide emergency winter shelter. They are seeing about 160 folks a night, which is about 30 more than their normal capacity. So they are having to open an additional space in the emergency winter shelter in order to be able to accommodate that influx. And so in order to open up that space, they need additional staffing, especially for the overnight hours when folks are sleeping. And so we are partnering with the city and also with the Human Resource Development Council here in town, which is spending some of their emergency support money as well. So the county and city contribution is $35,900, and HRDC is putting in about a little over $50,000 towards that ask.
What's the city putting in?
The same amount,
Oh, okay.
$35,900. So we're splitting with the city for a total of a little over $70,000, and then HRDC is coming for about $121,000 altogether.
Okay, thanks.
And that includes staff, additional food, and additional materials for that additional space.
Do they have to take a wall down or?
They are not taking down a wall. So in essence, there's if you're familiar with the Johnson Street facility, there's the main area that's been sleeping, and then they have a small day room
Like,
for folks who want to stay up at night. And so what they're actually doing is opening the room behind that. And so since it doesn't have a direct sight line into
Oh,
the
you need
main
more
room, they
staff,
actually
yeah.
need to have staff in that.
Yes, yes.
So
Well,
Gotta do it.
It's pretty wintry out there.
It is definitely winter this year.
Yeah, so I would move that the board approve the amendment to get these guys some money. Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye,
Aye.
thanks.
Thank
And
you.
Martin, if you didn't catch it, we are building the shelters that will go at the
Today.
TSOS
And yesterday.
as we speak.
I think there's-
You're building what? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
The pallet
126
shelters.
story tower.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the much rumored shelters, hard-sided shelters that will go at the new temporary safe outdoor space located at the detention facility.
We're building them out of Public Works right now because there's an indoor space suitable for construction.
Did you go out there this morning?
I'm going out there in a little bit today.
You should grab Martin.
This is a watershed moment here, Martin.
You want to come on?
No. We're
Yeah,
getting-
I say that's fine, but just realize it's a construction area, so if Martin wants to come out there, we just need to make sure that we take some precautions so that he is safe while he's there. So,
Martin, you're welcome to come along if you're open to taking those precautions.
He's
It's
a
hard
rookie.
hat. I guess that means you have to wear a hard
I
hat.
have a hard hat.
Closed-toe
Although
shoes,
it's
yeah.
winter, so.
You have a
I have a
hard
hard
hat.
hat.
Shane gave us hard hats.
Yeah,
that You
yeah.
can give Martin.
Yeah, can I just ask,
Please.
what does the county have left in its ARPA funds when it looks to next year? I know that's been an issue with the city. They're down to about $700,000. And when they look forward to the winter shelter next year, they think they can operate that. But after that is the question, how are you guys sitting in regards to your funds?
Yeah, so we actually budgeted our ARPA funds through our 2024 fiscal year budget. So we have set aside, it's a little over $2 million for mental health and for homelessness services for next year's budget.
Okay.
But you're right, we're in the same boat as the city.
After next year.
After next year.
We're just a little better off for next year's budget than the city is, but same problem.
Thank you.
Anyone second this?
You voted all the way through.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
sorry.
no.
Oh,
No worries.
goodness gracious. Okay, thanks. Kyla.
It is the Kyla show. for
It
the
is,
rest of
the rest of the morning. Okay.
I would do. Morning, Commissioners. I have a set of board appointments again for you. So the first is for the Airport Authority. We have one term that expires December 31st. Deborah Poteet, the current member, submitted a letter of interest and is eligible to continue serving. We did have one new applicant, Arnie Sherman. So the motion is to appoint one of these people to a new 5-year term through December 31st, 2027.
I move that we reappoint Deborah.
And then Arnie seems really talented. So
Oh, my gosh.
what
Is
can
there-
we do?
That is a great question. Are there already alternates? Do you have any, Chris or Kyla, have any ideas?
There are 2 alternates for that board.
Man, this guy.
Are they open?
No, I don't believe so.
No.
The airport board is actually one that's pretty
This dude's
popular.
resume is unbelievably impressive and willingness to volunteer his time. If there's some way we could make use of him, I'm not.
Well, you tell him to
Attend meetings?
stay engaged. We gave him a heads up that the person who is in this role was wanting to be reappointed. So I don't think he'll be blindsided.
No, that was really smart that you did that during that time.
But if you could just write a couple, I don't know,
We were,
in his letter, Kyla, like that somehow that we want to keep him engaged.
Yep, we'll encourage him to continue to
Motivation.
attend some of the board meetings with the airport board, and I'll make sure to connect him with Lynn as well. And that way he has that connection with the airport.
Great, okay, thank you. Did you second? Oh,
second.
yeah. Did you second?
I'll second. that.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Lolo mosquito control.
Yes, so we have 2 terms expire at the end of the year. Both current members are eligible for reappointment. Both of them submitted letters of interest. We had no new applicants, so the 2 members are Jean Belangini and Brock Flynn to new 3-year terms through December 31st, 2025.
Great. Well, so, is this board staggered appropriately, or does that matter if they're both up?
Yes, they're I believe they're a 5-member board, and so these are the only 2 terms
Oh.
that expire this
I didn't realize there were 5 ever, never mind. Okay.
Yep.
Motion for Jean and Brock.
I would move that we keep Gene and Brock on.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Sebastian Strauss for the Urban Transportation Board.
Yes, Sebastian's term expires at the end of this year. He submitted a letter of interest. We had no new applicants. So it'd be a request to reappoint him to a new 4-year term through December 31st, 2026.
That we reappoint Sebastian.
Second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Weed Control Board.
Weed Control Board, we have 3 terms that expired. We had 1 person resign, Karen Stockman, and we had 2 current members submit letters of interest and are eligible to continue serving, Andy Hayes and Andrew Skibo. The request would be to reappoint both Andrew and Andy to new 3-year terms through December 31st, 2025, and then the application will remain open until filled for that other position that we didn't receive any applicants for.
Okay.
I would move we have you as Kyla has recommended.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
I want to point someone, just to bring out of this historical thing on the weed board. It's a bit personal. It's my first foray into public board service. I was on the weed board, probably like maybe 94, 95. Had very long hair. The weed board.
That was a different weed board. Did you inhale?
I've never been into that
okay.
kind of thing. You know, my intensity doesn't allow me to relax.
Long or?
Long as, not longer. And this is where the reason I'm bringing this up, because the weed board at that point had a chair who had short hair, was very tightly wrapped, button-down shirts, and held fast to Robert's Rules of Orders, but was fair, but freaking firm. And that was John Hart.
That is
That was John Hart. Yes.
John Hart was on the weed board.
He was the chair of the weed board, and he had very short hair, button-down shirt, Robert's Rules, tightly wrapped, friendly but firm, no fuss, no fooling. And I kind of learned a little board service from the very
Still no
John
fun,
Hart,
no
who
fooling.
is, I wish.
It was like 2008 when you 2 crossed paths.
I something like that. Yeah, yeah.
That's great.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a little known piece of history.
Little piece of history. Yep.
Well, any,
John reverted. you-
John did. Yeah, exactly. We switched 2008.
okay, any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, zoning board adjustment.
Okay, so we have 2 terms that expire end of the year. Both members submitted letters of interest and are eligible to continue serving. Andy Mefford and Ryan Schumacher. We had no new applicants because there is 1 vacancy, the 3rd alternate seat. So we'll keep that seat open, but this is to reappoint those 2 current members to 3-year terms through December 31st, 2025.
Okay.
Yeah. And should we do anything we're not doing to try and recruit some of those members? I mean, this board doesn't meet very often. I wonder if it's just not an attractive.
But when they do meet, I mean,
It's
Yeah.
It's
So this
meaty when they
board,
meet.
yeah, this board is unique. They don't meet as often. This is a 3 alternate board, so they already have 2 alternates, so it's just filling that 3rd seat. But I think that Karen and Heather and Matt are working to get other applicants for this board because they did request to keep it open for that 3rd alternate.
okay,
All right,
Okay, I move that we reappoint these folks.
second that.
any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay, Scott Billadew to food policy.
Okay, so Food Policy Advisory Board has 1 term that expires. The current member resigned, Jason Mandela. So this would be to move the current county alternate, Scott Billadew, up to move to a regular member seat, starting January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2025 to the advisory board. And then we're advertising for the alternate seat is what we would do in this case.
Yeah, it's really great that Scott put his name in to be an alternate. Wonderful that there's a restaurateur on board.
Yeah, I think he'll be a fantastic addition.
Yeah. I would move that we appoint Scott.
Any further discussion?
I'll second.
Oh, sorry. Jeez, we are not
1994
uptight
John
here.
Hart.
I know, we need 90s John Hart.
Yeah.
90s.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Oh, we're done. Unless there's any correspondence, discussion items, that's invitations.
No, just quickly, commissioners, before the end of the year, we do need to decide who will be chair next year, and I just want to know if you want to follow your standard rotation, which would put Josh up as the next chair for
I
next year.
see no reason not to follow our standard rotation.
I will put that resolution together, and they will be at your January 5th public meeting, along with the 4 other annual resolutions that will be adopted.
Good. Excellent. Great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, have a great morning, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Goodbye.
Thank you.